Just a bunch of dirty, punk-ass punky punks. Punk-ass punks. Yeah, you heard me.
The Punksters began in 2015 as a comic strip, featuring a group of struggling punk rock musicians trying to survive life in the rundown city of Bleak Harbor. Over the years, the strip introduced the band members and the colorful cast of characters surrounding them, eventually growing to nearly 400 comic strips. The strips focused on the band's everyday struggles, bad jobs, chaotic rehearsals, difficult relationships, and their constant dream of escaping Bleak Harbor through music. Bleak Harbor is the rundown coastal city where the Punksters were born and where they still struggle to survive. Once a busy industrial port, the city has fallen into decay, with abandoned warehouses, aging neighborhoods, and fading businesses scattered along its harbor. Opportunities are scarce, and many residents feel stuck in routines that lead nowhere. For the Punksters, Bleak Harbor is both a source of inspiration and frustration, a place that shaped who they are, but also a place they dream of leaving behind if their music ever gives them the chance. Jerry Bangston is the guitarist and the most dedicated member of the Punksters. If the band has a leader, it is him. Jerry organizes rehearsals, pushes the band to work harder, and treats the group like a serious project rather than a casual hobby. During the day, Jerry works as a waiter at a fancy restaurant owned by his uncle, Frank Bangston. Because his uncle owns the place, Jerry gets away with things other employees never could, like wearing his punk rock attire while serving customers. The rest of the staff doesn't always appreciate this arrangement. Stanley Cash, better known as Crash, is the lead singer of the Punksters. He earned the nickname after a long history of car accidents and irresponsible decisions and actions throughout his life. Crash lives in his parents' basement and works as a burger flipper at a diner. His future often appears uncertain, and he frequently finds himself in trouble. Despite the chaos surrounding his life, Crash remains committed to the band and throws himself into every performance with reckless enthusiasm. Jerome Bloom is the bass player for the Punksters. He prefers his bass amplifier turn up as loud as possible, filling the room with a deep booming sound. Jerome is a naive and childlike guy and basically harmless. During the day, he works as a hospital orderly, where he is regularly assigned the least desirable tasks imaginable, like cleaning toilets, mopping up vomit, and dealing with disgusting messes nobody else wants to handle. William Billingsley is the drummer of the Punksters, the driving beat behind the band. William is married and has 2 children, Becky and Brian. His wife, Agatha, does not share his enthusiasm for the band and does everything she can to make it difficult for him to attend rehearsals or gigs. He works at the H.C. Harvey Advertising Agency, a corporate office where his boss, Harvey Chesterfield Harvey, insists on calling him Billingsley. Balancing family life, a corporate job, and a punk band is not easy, but William keeps showing up behind the drum kit. Rob Gnarly is a friend of all the members of the band. He also works alongside William Billingsley at the H.C. Harvey Advertising Agency and is one of his closest friends. Rob is calm, relaxed, and almost impossible to rattle. While the corporate office can sometimes be stressful, Rob handles everything with a laid-back attitude and a quiet sense of humor. Whenever something goes wrong, Rob simply shrugs and reminds everyone that it is what it is. Izzy, whose full name is Isabel Lang, is one of the most supportive people in the Punksters world, probably because she is Jerry's girlfriend. She attends nearly every rehearsal and performance and encourages the band, especially Jerry. In the original comic strip, Izzy was Stanley's girlfriend, but for various reasons, she was adapted to be Jerry's partner in the animated comedy shorts. With Izzy being the band's #1 fan, Gina is definitely #2. Gina is Stanley Cash's girlfriend. She offers encouragement whenever Stanley's reckless decisions catch up with him. Gina also happens to be Izzy's best friend. Gina attends nearly every Punksters gig and is usually right up front alongside of Izzy. Ronald Cash is Stanley's father and is highly critical of his son's life choices. He's not really a big fan of punk music and Stan's punk rock dreams. He frequently lectures Stanley about responsibility, work ethic, and direction in life. Despite his harsh words and criticisms, Ronald ultimately wants his son to succeed, even if he doesn't appear to show it. Mildred Cash is Stanley's mother, and she completely dotes on her only son. She babies Stanley constantly and refuses to believe that he could ever be at fault for anything. If Stanley gets into trouble, Mildred is convinced that someone else must have influenced him or led him astray. In spite of the occasional moments of difficulty regarding Stan's parents' disagreements regarding Stan, they are a somewhat normal family. Frank Bangston is Jerry Bangston's uncle and the owner of the restaurant where Jerry works. He openly shows favoritism toward Jerry compared to the other employees. Because of this, Jerry often gets away with things that would normally never be allowed in a fancy restaurant. Meet Nurse Agnes Wretched. She supervises Jerome Bloom at the hospital where he works as an orderly. She is notoriously strict and constantly assigns Jerome one unpleasant task after another. Even after he completes these jobs, she carefully inspects his work and usually finds something to criticize. Harvey Chesterfield Harvey is the owner of the H.C. Harvey Advertising Agency, where William Billingsley works. Mr. Harvey refers to William mostly as Billingsley and believes he is mentoring him toward a promising future in the advertising industry. What Mr. Harvey does not realize is that William would much rather be playing drums in a punk band. John Jerkinson is a man who manages to irritate nearly everyone he meets. He is a co-worker of William and Rob at the H.C. Harvey Advertising Agency. At work, he is known for being a backstabber who tries to take credit for other people's work. His abrasive personality makes him one of the few people everyone else can agree they dislike. Trey McDonald works alongside Stanley Cash at the diner where Stanley flips burgers. He is supportive of Stanley's musical ambitions and often acts as the voice of reason when Stanley's reckless behavior gets the better of him. Trey regularly attends the band's gigs, enthusiastically slam dancing, and occasionally stage diving when the opportunity presents itself. Those are all the main characters of the Punksters in the Bleak Harbor setting. However, as the series of shorts evolved, the Punksters expanded far beyond their original punk rock setting. The characters began appearing in different genres and storylines, transforming the concept into something closer to sketch comedy performed by cartoon characters. Yet no matter where the stories take place, the same personalities remain at the center of the chaos. Because whether they are in Bleak Harbor or somewhere far beyond it, the Punksters are still just a group of misfits trying to make their mark on the world. Moving even beyond their humble beginnings, the Punksters now also provide music on multiple streaming platforms, all of it under the umbrella of the Craypoe Productions Universe. The Punksters were created by Robert Craypoe, the creative force behind Craypoe Productions. The band is part of a growing world of characters, stories, music, and ideas. And for the Punksters, the story is far from over.
See you at the next Punksters Show!
It is what it is.